All right, our next speaker is Chen, who's an assistant professor in the Department of Forest and Wildlife Ecology here at UW-Madison, today talking about climate change and food behavior.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for the introduction. I'm Chen. I'm an assistant professor from the Department of Forest and Wildlife Ecology. I'm also nervous here because it's really my first time talking about dairy. Yeah, my lab has been doing a lot of modeling work on understanding the impacts of climate change and the impacts on how we fight against climate change. So this project is one example. It's a newly launched postdoc fellowship project in collaboration with Professor Chuck Nicholson, yes, there, and with postdoc Dr. Hamid Dashti, who's over there. Yeah, he has a poster, I think it's 24, so if you're interested in the details, so you can visit his poster there. Anyway, so the big background of this project is the changing climate. According to the United Nations International Panel on Climate Change, the sixth assessment report, the most recent one, it showed that global warming has been steadily increasing over the past decades, and the trend will keep going in the next few decades until 2100. So it's real. And in Wisconsin, yeah, according to our own climate change assessment report, also in 2021, we see similar trends. So that means we are experiencing similar thing as our neighbors, our other colleagues in the other countries. That means we are experiencing a shift in environmental conditions. Imagine like 3 generations in a family, including myself. My son was born in 2014, and I can project my grandchildren later. We are all expected to experience different climate realities. So the question is, how do we mitigate these changes, and what should we do to prepare for the future? Across the world, the country, the efforts are underway, I would say. For example, 11 states in the United States have already implemented carbon pricing program, and about 40 states have adopted renewable portfolio standards. Like Wisconsin, we don't have any climate mitigation policy yet, but in 2023, we do observe that a Senate bill has been launched that initiates a discussion on the social cost of carbon that give us a signal. And these 2 figures, actually, I found very interesting. It's a result from a Yale survey on the opinions on climate change. The left shows whether you believe global warming is happening, and the second is whether we should take actions on fighting against global warming. So where you can see that all the states agrees with climate change, and we should take some actions, but we do see some spatial heterogeneity of different opinions, right? So especially the swing states, as you can see, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, especially Wisconsin, you can see that. Yeah, it's kind of, the purple color represent that the green level is lower than national average. The green is a little bit above the average. So yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon, but that means there is uncertainty associated with climate policies, right? But another really important factor we need to consider for the dairy industry is the shift of dietary shifts. That's something we also have observed. For example, we have seen like increasing adoption of plant-based diets in this country, witnessed by like about 20% of plant-based foods consumption in retail market in 2018 alone. And so you probably have observed some like supermarket like Whole Foods has started sell black bean-based fake burger. And I know here in Four Lakes Market dining hall here at UW Madison, we have black bean hamburger here as well. So that's kind of a trend, right? And this trend is expected to continue in the future. And this actually really brings a big challenge to long-term sustainability in the dairy industry in this country and in our state. So we are really proud of our state as the American dairy land. But that also means it's probably the most urgent for us to consider what the shift of climate policy and the dietary change means for our dairy industry. So this project is launched to answer two key questions. So the first one is we're trying to understand how does state-level carbon policies comparing to the national policies impact the dairy industry. And second is how do dairy change affect the dairy production in the context of various climate change scenarios. The tool we use is called integrated system modeling. Especially the specific model we use is called Global Change Analysis Model, or GCAM. It is a model that simulates the complex interactions between different sectors, including agriculture, land, water, socioeconomics, climate, and energy. Right? So it's put everything into a market and calculate the demand and the supply and find the equilibrium point and found that, okay, what's the best way we can do to achieve the market equilibrium and make a balance between the policy and the reality of the constraints. So some questions we can ask with GCAM, including, for example, how does Elon Musk's Tesla would impact climate change or global warming? Right? And that's removing fertilizer impacts water shortage, how land use, land cover change the price of meat, and of course, Maria is vegan. By the way, Maria is Jame's fiancée. It's true, she's vegan, and what if all people are vegan or most people are becoming vegan? What does it mean to the dairy industry? Right? So many other questions. We have actually, in the past couple of months, we've just launched it in this summer. We used some the GCAM to do some preliminary examinations. We actually performed model simulations with considering vegetation productivity changes over time and what does that mean to the dairy market in terms of production and the prices. I'm still quite confused with these results. I still need some more time to digest the results, but just a quick show what we got from this complicated model. So we are expecting changes of vegetation productivity in the future, likely increasing, but that's interesting because that will have a different demand of land for those vegetations that can give or take more land for that kind of resources for dairy industry. So that actually reduce all the meat productions in the U.S. except the sheep and goat. I'm not sure why. I'm happy to talk with anyone who has like really good understanding of the agriculture economics. In terms of price, unfortunately, all the meat price will go down, and especially for beef. That's scary, right? Again, we need more explanation of that. All right, to conclude, I want to use this AI-generated impacts of climate change on the dairy industry. I literally just type, what does climate change would impact the dairy industry? So there's a figure they show us. It generally shows the natural impacts, like so it reduces the the nutrient content, change the productivity of the fodder grass, so that changes the quality and production of the dairy outputs. But no human factors here. So our research is trying to fill this gap and trying to give a good answer that's for a reference for the dairy industry stakeholders, and hopefully that could be useful for our state. And that's Hamid. Please visit his poster. Thank you.
Thank you.